Hey Dad, what's today's daily crypto news?
We're going to talk a little bit about a blockchain that we rarely discuss, but it is one that we own, that we believe in. It's a pretty solid blockchain, and most of you probably may even know about it. It's called ChainLink, and it's not a typical blockchain. It's an information oracle. All right, and basically what it does is it gathers the latest price information on value for whatever you're talking about, usually some type of currency. So this way, when there's a transaction conducted, you got the latest price, latest and most accurate pricing, so that you can make as even as possible a swap from one piece of value to another piece of value. And here, they're announcing
ChainLink is excited to announce their partnership with Mastercard to enable billions of cardholders to purchase crypto directly on-chain.
And so what you just heard was that they're going to set it up so that they got the latest price information available using the ChainLink Oracle, so that you can buy crypto using your credit card. They're setting it up, guys. There's all kinds of information going out there. We're sharing it here in our videos. That they're preparing all the on-ramps for the world to jump in and buy, because they're going to be backing it. The governments are going to be backing it. There's legislation on its way that is literally just a couple of weeks away from being signed on President Trump's desk that are going to support this technology. And so they're making it possible for everybody to be able to say, you know, I might just start investing in that crypto stuff, because, well, they're telling us we can invest in it in our 401k plans. They're setting up ETFs with this stuff. They're saying stable coins are okay. Stable coins run on native blockchains like the XRP ledger. You know what, man? There's something to this. People are going to the light's going to go on in their mind. So all this is being set up in the background. And there's a little read on what the CEO has to say.
In the master case use case, ChainLink is at the center of coordinating the critical information about the transaction across the multiple parties involved. What's that again?
Sergey Nazarov.
Sergey Nazarov on the critical role ChainLink plays in enabling Mastercard's network to interact with digital assets.
Yeah, it's a tricky name, but I've used that. I think it looks like a Russian.
I keep wanting to say synergy.
Slavic name, maybe? Yeah, no, it says Sergey. I've seen it enough times. But this is some pretty cool stuff that they're talking about, and you're going to see a lot of people use ChainLink. ChainLink is probably one of the most popular oracles out there, and it's going to be huge. It's really cheap right now, actually. I think it's like $4 or $7 a coin, something like that, which, I don't know, to my mind, that is a 4-figure coin all day long. It will be a blue chip coin in the future. And so I do have a nice little pocket of that, and I'll probably be adding, not for much longer though. But I think it's going to do really well because of what it does. Now, as far as information oracles, just to give you an idea, Flare Networks is setting up DeFi and yield for XRP and other blockchains like Bitcoin as well. You're going to wrap your Bitcoin, wrap your XRP, and then you can go monetize it in a collateralized manner. Now, Flare did something smart. They have their own oracles. So they're not the only game in town, but they are the biggest and baddest dudes in town, because they got partnerships with everybody. If you go take a look at their website, I think your jaw will drop. It's a pretty big deal. So let's check out the little video here. So he can explain. He's a little wordy, but it's worth every second so that you understand what's coming to the retail investment market with respect to purchase of blockchain or of cryptocurrency. My God,
in the Mastercard use case,
here we go.
ChainLink is kind of at the center of coordinating the critical information about the transaction across the multiple parties involved in building an on-chain transaction that has all of these information requirements, proving things about the user, proving things about the transaction. So it's basically bridging the information and the data and the transactional steps that have to happen in the off-chain world, in the Mastercard network, in Shift4 and Zero Hash, and it's bridging those steps to the on-chain steps that have to happen in Swapper and Uniswap and all these other on-chain environments. And so without that bridging, you basically have two separate worlds that aren't able to interact with each other. But if you define how all the steps in both worlds will lead to the conclusive next step, then you have a working set of transactions that can benefit from the huge distribution of the Mastercard network and its billion-plus user base and card holders, with the efficiency and settlement and quality of assets on the blockchain. And this is generally what ChainLink has always been built to do. It's been built to take all of these complex pieces of data, transactional steps, identity-related concerns, and simplify them into a flow that can be used on a blockchain. So what you're really trying to do when you're working on this problem is take the transactional steps on the Mastercard side and make them the trigger and the compatible critical next step in the process that triggers the on-chain event. And so that's what we've done.
I like it.